Okay, thanks for joining us today at Fashion Exposed. So I just wanted to ask you a few questions. You mentioned the shopper counter system today. Why is this so important to a store's survival, and what is it exactly?
Okay, shop accounting is really simple. It's about having an accurate, independent way of understanding how many people are coming into your door, into your store. If you don't have that information, you don't know the pulling power of your store. You don't know whether this promotion is pulling more people to your store or another promotion is pulling more people to your store. Once you've got that information, you can then relate it to your actual sales data and going, okay, why am I getting a lot of people in the door but I'm not converting sales? Or why has this store got much higher conversion rate than this other store? It gives you a really powerful insight.
And you also talk about customer query profiling.
Yep.
What do you mean by this, and why do you need to record this information?
Okay, it's really simple. There's a whole lot of things that customers come in and they ask for, and it's just like a river that flows past you. Unless you actually record it, you'll forget how many drops were in that river. So you might actually identify, if you start recording those customer queries, gee, there's a whole lot of people asking for larger sizes. Maybe we should extend our range. Or you might find there's a whole lot of people asking, do you have something that goes with this? Again, maybe we should change our range. Or if they keep asking the same question about something that you've advertised, maybe you need to do your advertising differently. Maybe you're not getting the message across. It's all about that idea of not just relying on your perception of your memory, relying on some sort of accurate, independent record.
The big retailers have money to spend on doing these kind of surveys and research and that kind of thing. How do small independent boutiques implement this kind of research on a budget?
Really, it is so easy to do. It's just about being systematic. So if you don't have the money to install a counter, a door counter, and an invisible beam trip counter, just literally have a little note by the point of sale desk and note down every customer that comes through. Try and do it by different time periods. It's much more useful there. But don't just try and remember, I think we have more customers in the afternoon. Actually train your staff to do it. It's that basic, and every retailer that we've worked with who's implemented has found some insights and has changed things based on that information.
You emphasise the importance of not relying on your own assumptions and your past experiences. Why?
Okay, at the simplest level, because it's very few people who own the shops or who run the shops are the same as the people who shop in the shops. Right? Retailers are different to their own customers. So it's really hard for me, if I owned a shop, to get inside the head of someone else who's actually shopping there. So, but retailers are really guilty of doing that, saying, oh yeah, I know who my customers are. Well, perhaps you're relying on a memory you had 10 years ago, or you're remembering those few customers who gave you a hard time and you're judging all customers by that. We're all about just the accurate information and not relying on your own perceptions.
You also mentioned the importance of tracking the bounce online. Can you explain that a little bit more detail?
Right. Okay, so as your average Australian shopper gets more and more familiar and comfortable with using things online and just browsing online, and they're sitting at home in front of the TV with a laptop on their lap, and they're just browsing around. So they become very quick at making assessment as they hit a website, hit the front page of the website going, oh, is this interesting or not? And then doing what we call bouncing out and going somewhere else. So you should be, if you've got an online store, you should be tracking what is the proportion of customers who've bounced off without going into my site and comparing that against industry averages. And if you've got a high bounce rate, then maybe you need to change the look and feel of your front page and get it more engaging.
So it's all about analysis and then implementing change.
It's all about accurate, independent information, analysis, and implementing implementing change.
Because obviously customers now are changing so fast. You know, their wants and their needs.
They are literally changing month by month. 5 years ago, the proportion of people who had a phone that could access the internet was about 10%.
Yep.
Now it's over 50%. So a whole lot of customers are in store and they're looking up your product and seeing if they can buy it cheaper somewhere else. That's a change in just 5 years. That's just going to get worse.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
Cheers.
Thank you.